Good afternoon, I'm Rachel Morton. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do the AuthorTag 2.0. This is a tag created by Jenna Streetley. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. If I'm not, I'm really sorry. I thought it'd be a good tag to do because this is only my second video on the channel, and it's a way to introduce myself to everybody. So I think there's 14 questions, so I'll try my best to answer them. I've watched quite a few of these videos now. Here's my answers. Question 1. What is your book's pitch? I write a series of books that are co-written with author Mason Saber. So I'm going to give you a pitch for book number 1. And that is: Harper Matthews' world is thrown into chaos when the body she is working on gets off the table in the morgue and walks out. Her first thought is, shit, did I do it again? Question 2. If you were a book, how would you pitch yourself? This is a hard one. It's like being in an interview when they say, tell me about yourself. If I were a book, I'd pitch myself as Rachel Morton, book nerd, writer, gamer, and journal junkie. Navigates the world of publishing, where she is looking for magic and mayhem, and hoping people will think she's put together more than she actually is. Question 3. What do you usually write? I write urban fantasy. We're also about to venture into writing young adult urban fantasy. That's what I have published. I also like to write horror and a little bit of romance, although not so much. I'd also really like to write a good ghost story. One of my favourite things as a child was to read ghost stories and then scare myself stupid when I needed to go to sleep. Question 4. What's the one thing I'll never write? Westerns. I absolutely hate them. There's no offence to people that love westerns. I can't stand watching them. I can't stand reading them. They just don't have any appeal to me. I also wouldn't write historical fiction. I can't even say I've actually read any of it, although I do enjoy watching things on Netflix to do with historical fiction, but generally it's just, I think I'm just too lazy to do the research that would be required to write a historical fiction. I'd probably also never write science fiction. I'm not a sci-fi fan. I love fantasy, but I don't like sci-fi. It's just not my thing. I'd rather have vampires and witches than spaceships and battles and guns, to be honest. Question 5. What's your goal for starting a YouTube channel? I wanted to start a YouTube channel just to connect with other writers and to become part of the community. I've been a lurker in the AuthorTube world for a while. I watch tons of videos, and it just seems like they're my kind of people. I'm a writer, and to go and kind of hang out with them would be pretty cool. But also I want to be able to grow as a writer myself. And I see a lot of people doing this on YouTube, so I thought, why not? I'll give it a go. Question 6. What made you start writing? Can't say anything made me start writing. I've always written stories. When I was little, one of my favourite things was to come up with the scariest ghost story I could, and then when we're at sleepovers to tell them. If I could make my friends scared, then I was pretty happy with myself. I've always been a reader. When I was a child, I absolutely loved reading fantasy stories and ghost stories. I could just get so lost in that kind of world, and I love to write that kind of story and to tell those stories to my friends and to give them that kind of experience. So it's just the same as an adult. I love being in that fantasy world. Question 7. What's your publishing path? Now, all of the videos that I've watched, most of them say traditional. I actually am going straight into the indie world. When I was growing up and I was thinking about publishing books, the dream was always to go and get an agent and go down the traditional route. And then self-publishing became available. And, for years I thought I was going to submit a book somewhere. And I never did. It was always like, oh, I'll do it later, or I'll do it another time. And then I got the chance to co-author the Death Dealers series, and I'm having a really fun time with it, even though we have to do everything ourselves. Like, we have to get the covers ourselves, we have to go through the edits ourselves and get someone to edit them ourselves. It's like, it's a really fun process, like being part of all of that, and just being in control, I suppose, is a big part of that, because we can control the story. If we're writing something and we don't like something, we can cut it out, or if we suddenly want to go in a total different direction, we can do, and nobody's going to tell us that we can't. And I don't know, I'm just really enjoying the freedom. And I've never been traditionally published. I've never tried to be traditionally published. I have had a couple of short stories published in publications years ago, and that was fun. But I really didn't like the submitting and the kick to the confidence when you got a rejection. I know as writers we're supposed to have thick skin, but I really don't. And when I was writing my first book, one of the things I was always afraid of was getting that rejection letter and being told my story wasn't good enough, and then killing the writing for me, because I've always wanted to write, and I didn't want anyone to say my writing wasn't good enough and then to take away the writing from me. And then I got the opportunity to co-author the Death Dealers series, and to do that through the indie route, and it's been amazing. We're working on our third book at the moment. We've got another series that we're about to start, and it's just really exciting. And I think that's because you're part of all the process as well. You don't just write the book and send it off, but you pick the cover, you pick the title, you deal with all the edits and people editing for you. And I think because it's just more hands-on, it's a lot more fun. And then when that book is in the hands of the reader, it just feels really rewarding. So it's the indie route for me. Question 8. What content do you bring to the author table? Planners. I have so many planners. I'm just a journal junkie. Nothing gives me greater joy than sitting down, going through my planner, drawing out my bullet journal and getting it all set up. And I have so many planners and journals. I don't think I'll use them all within my lifetime. So my kids are going to inherit a lot of planners and things like that. And I really love that side of things. But also, I think what I'm going to bring to it is showing someone's journey, for not just someone's YouTube journey, but my writing journey as a co-authoring with somebody and trying to really break into the indie world. And I'll probably eventually throw in some writing advice, maybe. I love productivity, that's one of my favourite things. So it's probably going to be planning, journaling, writing in general, and my author journey. And then just my randomness thrown into the mix. Question 9. What's your biggest writing struggle? Time. Time seems to be my biggest struggle. It seems that I get up in the morning, get ready to write, blink, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I have no idea where all that time went or why I've got no words written down. And it happens day in, day out. And I think that's actually down to me and focus and allowing lots of other things to take my time. So what I really need to work on is saying no. When people ask me to do something, no, I'm at work. And I just have to deal with that. But yeah, that's one of my biggest struggles. Question 10. What's your best writing skill? Ideas. I have loads of ideas. Some of them I'll never write because they're just completely out there, and some of them will probably make it into stories, make it into short stories. I just have a massive imagination, and I think that just comes down from being a lifelong reader. I love to read books. Mostly I read fantasy books. And the more I read, the more I can feel it just kind of fuels my own ideas. I actually have a journal, surprisingly, filled with different ideas for stories. Question 11 and 12 are kind of the same question, so you only pick one. One question is, you have been on YouTube, what tips do you have? Or if you are new to AuthorTube, what are your biggest questions? Well, obviously I'm new to AuthorTube, so I don't think I have any questions just yet. I think I will do eventually. I think if I was to sit down with a popular AuthorTuber and to ask them a question, what I'd want to know is, what's your schedule? How do you fit in your writing, your YouTubing, life and everything else? What kind of schedule do you run, and how do you plan everything around your writing? You know, how much of your time do you give to writing versus how much of your time do you give to making videos for your author channel? That's probably my question, because I suck at time. Question 13. Are you looking for any new channels, beta readers, critique partners, or writing buddies? I watch a ton of AuthorTube videos and subscribe to quite a few. The Heart Breathings channel is probably my most favourite, and I've probably watched everything she's put out. She's just amazing. Natalia Lee is another AuthorTuber I like to watch. She is a writer and a freelance editor, I believe. I also watch Alexa Dunn, and she's a traditionally published author, and she makes videos on writing tips and things like that. And then I like to watch Katie Kavanagh and Jessica Williamson. They often do live stream sprints, which I generally log on to and try and do along with them. It's really good. I'll link all their details down below so you can check out their channels. If you're a regular AuthorTube watcher, I'm sure you know who they are already, but I'll still link them for you. I'm not really looking for any beta readers at the moment because my co-author nicely sorts that all out for me. Maybe when I start to put a book out on just mine, then I'll probably be looking for my own. I don't need any critique partners. I tend to stay away from those. I've had critique partners in the past, and I don't know, if it just never seems to work out for me. You either get too critical, or feelings get hurt, or you both just kind of die off and stop reading each other's work. And I've never had a good experience with any kind of critique group or partner thing. As for a writing buddy, I love writing buddies. Obviously I have one because I co-write with him, but that's it. So I'd absolutely love new writing buddies, people to chat to, people who write the same as me or into the same stuff I am. That would be great. So say hello down below if you want to be a writing buddy. Question 14, last question. What are you most excited about with your AuthorTube channel? Making connections and just joining the community. And I'm also looking forward to growing as an author. A lot of the AuthorTube channels that I watch, you can see like how they've grown through their channel, but not just with regards to making videos, but with their writing. I'm really looking forward to being part of that and doing it myself. And also, I absolutely love doing writing sprints and stuff, so I'd love to host some of those myself in the future and just encourage other writers who may be further behind than I am in their writing career. Obviously I'm not millions of miles ahead, but there's so many people at different stages. I just want to be able to encourage people, make friends, connect with other writers, be involved with part of the community. That's what I'm really after. So that's it. I hope it helped to get to know me a little bit. I'm gonna go off now because I need to go and check out turnip prices. If you play Animal Crossings, you know what I mean. Don't forget to hit subscribe, press the bell so that you get notified whenever I put a new video out, and give me a thumbs up because apparently it really helps. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.